Montreal is the best city in North America. Here is the major differences between Toronto and Montreal. Quebec is a French-speaking province, which means that Montreal is quite French, which is nice. But that also means there's a lot of the older generation that likes to protect the language, which I totally understand, but they're very vocal about it, and if you do not speak to them in French, sometimes they can be very rude. Transportation in Montreal is much better than Toronto. I mean, the STM doesn't cover as much of a bigger area as Toronto, but at least it's safe and quick. And you have internet. The TTC is god-awful. It's so slow and it's not reliable and there's no internet. But you do have the SkyTrain, which is nice, and we have the REM in Montreal soon. Business opportunities in Toronto are like hella better than in Montreal. Toronto is quite businessy, like the people are businessy. Montreal is very more like, just like going through life. Both cities are very multicultural. But in Montreal, we also speak French. Parking in Montreal is impossible. The airport in Montreal, if you do a lot of traveling, it's kind of a pain in the ass, because you have to go to Toronto for a lot of long-haul flights. Both cities are close to the border. Housing isn't cheap in Montreal, but it's hell of a lot cheaper than living in Toronto. Living in Toronto, honestly, I don't know how y'all do it. It's impossible buying a house there. I do not know how y'all do it. Montreal is so much cheaper. Going out in Montreal, you don't need a promoter. In Toronto, you can